Welcome to the No BS skill leveling guide for Hypixel Skyblock. In this video, I'll be going over every single skill in Hypixel Skyblock, as well as the most efficient ways to level them. This video is going to be straight to the point. I'll be brutally honest with how you should level them and which techniques to avoid or use. So if you want to level up your skills efficiently in the game and aren't afraid to do harder methods, this is the video for you. Before getting into specific skills, let's first address two items that you need in order to level up your skills efficiently. These are the God Pot and the Booster Cookie. Both of them give you a ton of useful perks and stats, but also give you a lot of skill wisdom, which increases the amount of skill XP you get. So make sure to always have both of these active when you're leveling up your skills. Now let's move to the first skill on our list, which is farming. My farming level is kinda sad, we're only being farming 52 right now, but I do plan on maxing out this Derpy. If you wish to know which skills are the best to level during Derpy, make sure to stick until the end of the video because I'll be explaining it then. So, farming. Honestly, if you don't like to farm, the easiest way to level your farming is to just get full melon minions. These are a great way to get money as well as a bunch of farming XP. However, for those who wish to level their farming level themselves, the path is actually quite simple. You will start off by getting Skyblock level 5 in order to unlock the garden. After you get to the garden, simply get a farming setup based on your budget and then start farming. The main thing you want to focus on is getting these farming crop milestones. Do every single crop and get a decent level of milestones for each, as they will give you a bunch of farming XP. As an example for me, on the very first day that the garden came out, I farmed a lot and went from farming 35 to 42 in a single day just from the immense amount of XP from these milestones. After you've gotten each crop to a decent level, you should be at decent farming level as well, but if you wish to continue and max out the skill, there are two paths you can take. The first path is for those who dislike farming and have a decent amount of money to work with, and it's doing visitors. Each visitor will give you a decent amount of farming XP when you accept their offer, and you can just keep doing these, especially if legendary visitors often give you a bunch of farming XP, and you can just use this to level up your farming. However, if you don't have an immense amount of money at your disposal or just want to farm to make more money, you can start farming crops even more and level up your farming to get better farming tools and gear. In order to maximize the farming XP you get from farming or visitors, make sure to have a farming tool with a high cultivating level, as that will give you more farming wisdom, as well as the Blessed Reforge, which also gives you more farming wisdom. And the most important of all, make sure to have a level 100 epic or legendary rabbit pet, as this will give you 30 farming wisdom, which is another huge boost to your farming XP. Of course, pets like the mushroom cow and elephant are still much better than the rabbit for general farming, as they give you more money and help you level up milestones faster. However, if you're doing visitors or just going for straight XP, the rabbit is still better due to its extra farming wisdom. And now, let's move on to the second skill on our list, which is mining. Mining is a very, very profound skill, but leveling up your mining level is actually incredibly straightforward. If you don't want to mine, again, you can use snow minions, as it's a very good way to get mining XP while doing nothing, but you can also use melon minions. This is because melon minions, when you put diamond spreadings in them, will also give you a ton of mining XP. So you can get both your farming and mining up by using melon minions. However, the most efficient way to level your mining is, once again, mining manually. When just starting off, simply get a golden shovel with efficiency 2 and just mine the sand in the desert. This is a super good and efficient way to level your mining really early on before you unlock the dwarven mines. However, once you unlock the dwarven mines, make sure to head over there to level up your mining. To level up your mining efficiently in the dwarven mines, I recommend talking to Boo Boo here and starting off with a fractured mithril pickaxe and gradually upgrade through all the way up to a titanium pickaxe. This is where you should stop. If you want more details about gear and what to use for mining, make sure to check out my complete mining guide, as this video is not for your gear and how to progress in mining, it's more so how to level up your mining skill. So let's take this for example here. And what you want to do early on to level up your mining is to go and do commissions, right? So you go here and you can do different commissions, and these will give you mithril powder as well as mining XP. And if you're not Heart of the Mountain 7, it will also give you Heart of the Mountain XP. This is really good to level up your mining level early on, and this also helps you level up your Heart of the Mountain level. Your Heart of the Mountain level is very important for many different reasons, such as giving you mining stats and everything, but it also helps you unlock the Seasoned Mine Man upgrade, which gives you even more mining wisdom and thus more mining XP. What I would then recommend is to mine mithril and do these commissions until you reach Heart of the Mountain 6. Because at Heart of the Mountain 6, you then unlock the Gemstone Gauntlet, an incredibly powerful tool that is also at an affordable price. And once you get this and some decent mining armor, you can then proceed to start mining mithril in the blue mithril walls here, here, and here. This is the best spot, but it's usually taken. It's not taken right now because I guess nobody is playing right now. But this is where you should go, and you should start mining blue mithril around here in order to gain the best mining XP. However, if you keep progressing in mining and get good mining gear, good Heart of the Mountain, good powder, and a very high mining speed, you can then go and mine mithril in the Crystal Hollows. This is even better than mining in the Dwarven Mines, though it takes more effort and much better gear. And doing that would be the best way to level up your mining level as fast as possible. Additionally, make sure to always have an epic or legendary silverfish, as the mining wisdom boost, once again similar to the rabbit, gives you 30 mining wisdom, which is super useful. Also make sure to have a high level of compact on your tool for more mining wisdom, as well as the refined reforge for even more mining wisdom. However, even above all that, the most important thing to do is to always mine during coal. The reason for that is because Mayor Cole's perks are absolutely insane for mining XP. One of his base perks is that he just straight up gives you 60 mining wisdom, and during his mining fiestas, he gives you another 75 mining wisdom. This is absolutely insane for leveling up your mining level, so make sure to always be taking full advantages of his mining fiestas and for when he's in office. And that is about it for the mining skill. Remember that this video is only talking about leveling that skill, so we are not going to be discussing the depths of how to progress in your powder, your Heart of the Mountain, and mining gemstones. If you want to know more about that, as I've said, I do have a gemstone mining guide as well as a mining guide, so you can go check them out if you want. Now, let's talk about the third and most expansive skill in Skyblock, which is combat. Early combat is really simple, but afterwards it spreads into many different paths based on how you want to improve. Because I always believe in the mentality in Skyblock that you should be doing something because it progresses you in many different ways. So early combat is incredibly simple. Just come here into the Dwarven Mines, take any pickaxe you want. You can go on a fresh thing, you can have nothing. Anybody can one-shot Ice Walkers with pickaxe. You can just go around one-shotting Ice Walkers. It's super simple and it gives you a very good source of combat XP. However, obviously, you should then quickly move on, but this is where things branch out into many possible paths. Once you reach this point, there are many things you can do. You can choose to go grind Zealots if you want money. If you want to level up your Catacombs, go do Dungeons, especially floor 6, which gives the best combat XP. If you want to upgrade your Slayers, then do Slayers. There are so many ways to level up your combat, but usually these 3 methods will be the most efficient to help you progress at the same time. Of course, you can also make a combination of all of those. However, once you've progressed a little more, we can then move on to dedicated combat XP methods. One of the most famous one of these is Ghost Grinding. Ghost Grinding is incredibly good for leveling up your combat level, as it gives you a ridiculous amount of combat XP, and also gives you a very good amount of money. However, of course, To get good rates with this, you need to be able to one-shot ghosts, which a lot of players cannot do, as it's usually done with a dark claymore or at the bare minimum, a giant sword. So, a lot of players cannot go and farm ghosts, which is why I recommend that you start off with the other 3 methods I mentioned, as those will help you progress to a point where you can one-shot ghosts. However, even ghosts is no longer the ultimate way to level up your combat level. It is now flares. Doing flares is absolutely insane for leveling up your combat, as they give an absurd amount of combat XP. But it can be quite difficult to be able to one-shot them, and usually takes a lot of stats and good gear. However, they're definitely worth the grind, as not only do they give you absolutely unfathomable amounts of combat XP, they also give you vanquishers, which in turn give you nether stars, which are essential to progress in the end game when you're doing Kudra, as it's one of the main resources to get Kudra keys. So once you're able to grind flares, I highly recommend grinding them. Another way to get more bonus combat XP is also from your bestiary. Your bestiary gives you combat XP every few milestones. You get 1,000,000 combat experience. Of course, the first few milestones don't give you 1,000,000, but once you reach a certain point, each main milestone here gives you 1,000,000 combat XP, which is absolutely insane. You can use this combat XP to increase your combat level, but you can also use it to level up combat pets. And of course, when you're leveling up your combat, make sure to always have a level 100 legendary wolf pet. And in some situations, some other pets may even be better, such as when using the mythic enderman to kill endermen, or using the tarantula to kill spiders. As you can see, tarantula gives you 1.5 times combat XP against spiders, which is insane because the wolf only gives you 30 combat wisdom. Other things to look out for would be having a high level of champion on your main weapon, but also do note that bows cannot have champion. So if you're killing something to get combat XP, I do recommend usually going for a weapon that can have champion on it. Another thing that can also help you to get more combat XP is the veteran attribute. Of course, this comes much later in the game. Usually at that point, you've maxed out your combat level. But if you get veteran attributes, as you can see, each of my armor pieces here give me 4.5 combat wisdom. You can also get veteran on your equipment, as you can see here, with this piece giving me 5.25 combat wisdom because it has veteran 7. Now let's talk about foraging, the universally most hated skill in Hypixel Skyblock, and for a good reason. First of all, foraging minions suck. Don't use them, they're a waste of time. They're just terrible. And then, for leveling foraging, in my opinion, you should never get your foraging level anywhere above 30. It's just a waste of your time and is not worth it, especially as the foraging update is probably one of the updates coming very soon in the foreseeable future of Hypixel Skyblock. So for now, I recommend getting your foraging level to like 20, 25, maybe 30, but that's even pushing it then. Just to have some skill average, a little bit of extra strength. But overall, don't level your foraging, it's a waste of time. However, if you really want to level your foraging, the best way to do it is private island foraging. Let me give you a slight demonstration of what that is. It's quite simple really. Just go here, right here. You don't have to have this, I just find it helpful. And then you place 4 saplings, you go like this, and you chop it down the tree cap, and that's the best way to level up your foraging. Make sure, of course, to have moil or toil if you can afford it on your tree capitator to get more foraging wisdom, and to also go and get a level 100 epic or legendary ocelot pet. You can also get a monkey pet to make your farming more efficient, as it reduces the cooldown on the tree capitator by 50%, but that is only optional, it's only if you're really sweaty. But again, honestly, just don't level foraging. Foraging is a waste of time right now. Just wait for the update to come out and then you can do foraging. And with that, we are moving on to the next skill, which is fishing. And starting off with fishing minions, honestly, fishing minions are incredibly popular, probably one of the most popular minions in the game right now, and they have been for years, but they kind of suck. I'll be completely honest, I used fishing minions. I had a maxed out setup of fishing minions for over a year, and they couldn't even get me to fishing 50. They're just kind of bad overall. They don't make good money, they cost a lot to set up, they get pretty terrible fishing XP. I personally recommend just fishing by yourself, or if you're gonna get fishing minions, only get it for the early levels because the early levels can be really hard, and then fish manually for the rest. Talking about the early levels, early fishing sucks. Before you can get good fishing gear, it's slow, it's boring, the mobs you get are terrible, they don't give you XP. It's overall just a pretty horrible skill. During early fishing, your best friend is Marina. Mayor Marina is so good. Her perks are incredible. She has a perk where you get 50 more fishing wisdom, which is huge for leveling up your fishing level. And she also has the fishing festival. And you may be asking me, Vintus, why the fishing festival? That's a festival where people make money, not level up their fishing. But the fishing festival is actually very good for fishing XP as well, due to sharks. Sharks are mostly known because they make you a lot of money through their teeth and megalodon pets, but sharks also give you a very high amount of fishing XP per kill, even though they are quite common to spawn. So definitely go and fish during the fishing festival, as it's a great way to get more money and fishing XP. However, even though fishing during Marina is great, it still pales in comparison to Nether Isles fishing. While fishing here, you can fish up very powerful sea creatures such as Lord Jobus and Thunder, which not only make you a lot of money, but also give you a ton of fishing XP. This is even better when you're doing this in fishing parties where you can loot share off each other's sea creatures. However, nether fishing is difficult, the mobs are strong, and it's usually almost impossible to kill a lot of them if you don't have a Hyperion, so of course only start doing this much later in the game. Overall, fishing is a pretty difficult skill to level, so honestly, if you don't want to level it, another way you could do it is of course minions, but you could also get somebody who's already an established fisher to fish for you, and you can then leech off their sea creatures. Of course, you would need to find someone willing to do that, but if you can, then this is a super effective method to level up your fishing while not having to be much of a fisher yourself. Of course, we must also talk about the different things that can boost your fishing. The first thing we need to talk about is a squid pet. You need to get a legendary squid pet, as it gives you 30 more fishing wisdom, which is really good. You need to get your expertise on your fishing rod to as high as possible for more fishing wisdom as well. And you could also potentially go for fishing XP attributes on your nether armor sets. So what I mean by that is, for example, if we took Magma Lord chest plates and we went armor here, 1 second, I think I put the wrong filter. Magma Lord chest plates, and we found one that gives you fishing experience, such as this one. You can get 2.5 more fishing wisdom, or if you get higher, you can get even more extra fishing wisdom. Do note, however, that this is quite expensive, so only get this if you really want to just like max out your fishing stuff and get more fishing XP. Alright, and now we are at Enchanting. One of the easiest and one of my favorite skills in Hypixel Skyblock. Enchanting is super easy to level, even though it's one of the level 60 skills. All you really need to do is enchant random things until you unlock the experimentation table. And then from there, just do your daily experiments and keep leveling up your enchanting level. If you have bits to spare, you can also alternatively refresh your experiments so you can do it multiple times per day. Not only do you get an absurd amount of enchanting XP from this, you also have the chance of getting rare books that can be worth sometimes hundreds of millions of coins. So overall, it's just a great idea to go and do your enchanting. Of course, you can also go and use something like the Guardian pet in order to level up your enchanting faster. Though that's not really necessary since the enchanting table already gives you so much. So you need a level 100 epic or legendary Guardian pet. However, usually I would just recommend you use the XP from the enchanting table to level up other pets such as a golden dragon or a nether dragon or something along those lines. Additionally, Mayor Barry is also a thing where he boosts the enchanting tables, but honestly he gets elected so rarely that it doesn't really matter and the boost is not that significant anyways for XP gain. Though come to think of it, since the Rift came out, I wonder if Barry's perks or his secret perks have changed in any way. Maybe they added something that's directly relevant to the Rift. And with that, let's now start talking about Alchemy. Alchemy is in my opinion the easiest skill in Hypixel Skyblock. It's ridiculously easy to level it. All you really need to do to level up your Alchemy is to brew speed potions with enchanted sugarcane. It will cost you some money to do it, but by doing it efficiently, you can usually do it all and get maxed out Alchemy within around an hour. So all you need to do here is you brew these into awkward potions, and then you make them into speed potions and collect them. Of course, you can also take this time to take advantage of leveling some alchemy pets such as sheep, parrot, and jellyfish. So now we wait till this becomes awkward potion, and all we have to do is put enchanted sugarcane into this. It does cost some coins, you can see each enchanted sugarcane is 130,000. But it will give you a bunch of alchemy XP, and leveling the skill is super quick. So once these are ready, I can then just go and collect them, and as you can see here, each bottle is giving me 24,000 alchemy XP. You can then go and NPC sell these potions, but they're not really worth much. However, if you go and spend an extra 2.7 thousand coins on an enchanted glowstone dust, you can then go and put this on to these potions to make them into speed 7 potions. This will not give you any extra alchemy XP, but it will greatly boost the value of these potions when sold to NPC, which can save you some money. So as you can see, when I collect them, I don't get any alchemy XP, but I can now NPC sell these for 6,000 coins each. Of course, if you don't want to waste time, you don't have to do it either. It only saves you a small amount of coins, but it's still helpful for players who are on a budget. And that's honestly it for alchemy. So now let's go and talk about the next skill, which is carpentry. Carpentry is actually a kind of important skill nowadays because I think it got made into an official skill or something along those lines, so it's quite useful to level it. How carpentry works is essentially you get carpentry XP from crafting things, and the amount you get is based on how many items that craft is made out of. What I usually did back in the day when I leveled it is I would just go and buy order a bunch of enchanted diamonds. This time I'm not going to buy order them, but usually you would buy order them, and then you go and you craft enchanted diamond blocks. That would give you a bunch of carpentry XP, and you can then NPC sell these enchanted diamond blocks. That's about it. You will lose some money, but as long as you buy order them at a decent price, you wouldn't lose all that much. Alternatively, if you really wanted to level up your carpentry quickly, you can also take those enchanted diamond blocks and make them into perfect armor. This will give you an insane amount of carpentry XP, but at the cost of a lot of your coins, because then they will sell for much less than how much it costs you to craft them. So only do this if you're really in a hurry and have coins to waste. And I'm talking about like tens of millions to even hundreds of millions of coins to waste. There's also another way I've heard people say is great for leveling up your carpentry, and that is crafting up flawless gemstones. I heard it's also a very good way to level your carpentry. I haven't tried it myself, but honestly the best method pretty much just depends on the prices of the things at the time and the margins, and you can just look for yourself at which one you think is the most worth your time. Just make sure that you're always making buy orders and not insta-buying the raw materials, and to just choose whichever one is best at the time with the current bizarre prices. And with that, it is time for runecrafting. Runecrafting is one of those skills. It's really easy to level, it's cosmetic, it doesn't really do much, but it does allow you to use some pretty cool runes, so I do recommend still doing it. And for runecrafting, really what you need to do is just merge runes. Don't try and go kill runic mobs, like it gives you runic XP but it's too slow and inconsistent. Just merge runes. Take some runes, go to the NPC in the hub, let's go here, go to Dusk in the hub, go here, split these, and just merge runes. Merge runes. Of course, legendary runes will give you more runecrafting XP, but Usually it doesn't matter that much, you can use whichever runes you have on hand at the time. If you ever end up running out of runes, you can always just go and find random players and ask them if you can buy their low rarity runes. And usually most people have like backpacks full of them, like absolutely full of runes. So you can just buy them off really cheap off of them, and you can use those to go and keep merging. You don't have to do this for very long, so usually you'll be fine. Just merge runes until you max out your runecrafting skill. It's super easy. Afterwards, the next skill is the hardest skill in the game, surprisingly, which is social. Social is just insanely difficult. It's super hard to level, and most people don't even bother going for it since it is a cosmetic skill. To level up your social, there are many different strategies, but realistically everything centers around people visiting you, and that's about it. I personally recommend don't waste your time on social. It's a complete waste of your time. And if you want to level a little bit passively, what you can do is go in AFK on your friend's island, and your friend can come in AFK on your island, or you can just AFK on some random person's island, come AFK on my island if you want. And then that's about it. You'll get 1 XP a minute. It's something. And your friend also gives you 1 XP a minute by AFK on your island. However, this is also a way to gain money. Let me explain. When you go and AFK on your friend's island, for example, say they have melon minions. You can then equip a level 100 rabbit pet, and this will then boost the melon minions, because level 100 rabbit pets have a perk. Let me just go on the rabbit. Level 100 rabbit pets that are legendary have a perk called efficient farming, which makes farming minions work 30% faster while you're on the island. A lot of people notice from the Technoblade videos, it's really cool and really powerful perk to use. You could also, for example, go with a magma cube pet. Magma cube. The magma cube pet also has a perk that makes your slime minions work 30% faster while on your island, which is also incredibly good for people who have slime minions. So you can do that to boost each other's minions. There are also several other ways to level your social, such as getting people to visit you, a bunch of unique people to visit you, but overall, it's just a waste of your time. Don't bother with it. It's just not worth it as a cosmetic skill. Focus your time on maxing out everything else in the game. If you've maxed out everything and only have social left, then sure, go ahead, go for it. Or else, just don't waste your time on that and focus on improving other more important parts of the game. Now, the final skill we're going to touch on in this video is Taming. Taming is kind of like a passive background skill because you're pretty much just leveling it by leveling the other skills. But if you want to level as fast as possible, just make sure that you're going and leveling the skills with the right pets. So when you're farming, use farming pets. When you're mining, use mining pets, etc. That's pretty much it. About Taming, it's like this background skill you just get by default. It's nothing special really, it's just there. And then the last skill in the skills category is Dungeoneering. But dungeons is so profound and with so many different things to do that it will be a video of its own. If you guys like the style of video where I essentially just give you the information and show you guys the most efficient way to get things and don't waste time, like this no BS series, then make sure to like and subscribe so I know to make a video, and in the future I can make one about dungeoneering. And before I finish everything I have to say for this guide, we need to talk about Derpy. Like I mentioned at the start, Derpy is insane because he gives you 50% more skill XP when he's mayor, which is a really powerful boost. And the main skills you need to focus on when he's in office are farming, foraging, alchemy, carpentry, and runecrafting, because those skills don't have a mayor that boosts them. So that's pretty much the skills you should focus on. Do whichever one you want. If you don't want to do a different skill, you can as well. You can go fish, you can go do everything. There's also, of course, you can do dungeons if you're good enough and you can survive the double health mobs. Then you can also go do dungeons during Derpy. And yeah, those are mainly the skills you need to focus on during Derpy. Derpy is incredibly powerful, especially for farming. So I recommend that this Derpy, when he arrives, go farm. That's my plan. I plan on trying to max out my farming skill when Derpy comes into office. And yeah, foraging would also be very powerful, but foraging is a waste of time, as I've said. So yeah, the other ones are pretty easy to level. Mainly, it's going to be farming or alchemy if you haven't maxed it yet. Then alchemy in Derpy is very important. So if you're planning on doing that, buy your enchanted sugarcane long before Derpy starts or after Derpy has already started for a few days, because the price of enchanted sugarcane is going to skyrocket and then fall back down afterwards. And that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I know it was a long-winded one. There are a lot of skills in Skyblock and a lot of content to cover. I tried to keep it as concise and to the point as possible, but of course sometimes there's just so much stuff to cover, so the video probably dragged on for quite a bit. But if you guys did enjoy this style of video especially, make sure to like and subscribe, as I'm planning to make this a series on the channel. The next video of this series is going to be a no BS guide on how to make coins in Hypixel Skyblock. So if you ever want to know different ways to make coins at different stages of the game, the most efficient ways to make coins, make sure to stay tuned, because that video is coming very, very soon. Additionally, make sure to join the Discord server, as I often host giveaways over there, and you can also go there to ask questions or discuss with other people. If there are any other strategies that you like to use to level up your skills faster, please help others and leave it in the comments section below. Feel free to also discuss with other people about different strategies that they use. But overall, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.